So, hi everyone. Good evening, team. Welcome to the third session of the Java third session today. So, till now we have been discussed about the few concepts. Let's have small revision of that particular concept. So, we have discussed about the variables. Yes, we have a local variables and then instance variables and then static variables we have. Okay, and we have discussed the scope of local variables is inside the method, and scope of instance variables is like where outside the class and inside the method. Okay, inside the method here. Okay, so and then for the static variables also same, outside the class and inside the method we have seen. So, and I already explained that memory perspective is what local variables, the memory will be allocated when the method start executing. When the method ends, the memory will be released. For the instance variable, the memory will be allocated when you create an object. Okay, when the object is been destroyed, the memory will be released. Okay, in the same way for the static, the memory will be allocated when the class is been loaded. Okay, so this is what we have been understood about the variables in a very detailed way. Okay, we have seen multiple examples also about the variables. And next, we have learned about the concept called constructors. Okay, constructors we have learned here. Okay, so constructors we have seen, and before that we have seen static method. Okay, and static methods we have seen, and then instance methods also we have seen. Okay, and coming to the constructors, so what do you mean by the constructor? Yesterday we have seen, right? It's similarly like a block of code, it's similarly like a method. So when it will be executed? During the object creation. Okay, during the object creation, the the constructor will be executed. Okay, we have learned about the three rules. What are the three rules? Cons name and class name should be same. Okay, class name and then should be same. That is what one rule we have done. And one more rule is like it should not have any written type. It should not have any written type. Okay, and third one, it should be it should be able to take it should be able to take the parameters. Okay, this is what we have been done. Okay, now can we have like a quick yes or no questions today? Okay, for these concepts whatever we have learned. First question is, can we have multiple constructors in a class? Yes or no in the chat. Okay, good. Most of you are yes. Yes, we can have a multiple constructors in a class, but it should take it should the parameters should be differ. The parameters should be differ. Yes, correct. And second thing, um, can a can a constructor be final? Can a constructor be final, team? Can a constructor be final? No, we cannot have the constructor as a final, because when you keep any variable or any thing, if you keep it as a final, that is means the overriding is not possible. Means you cannot modify that constructor or you cannot modify that value. Okay, so constructor is you cannot restrict the constructor. Okay, because constructor is used to initialize the variables and everything. Okay, so that is what. And then constructor is used to initialize the variables. Constructors is used to initialize the variables. Yes or no? Yes, constructors are used to initialize the variables. That we have seen yesterday. Constructors are used to initialize the variables. Okay. And still, what else? Okay. Can we call can we call a constructor in the same class? Can we call the constructor in the same class? By using which keyword? By using which keyword? Using this keyword. Very good. This is also we have learned. By using this keyword, you can call the constructor here. Okay. So this is all the topics we have been learned yesterday. Okay. And next, can we call static variables in non-static method. Can we call static variables in non-static method? Hmm? Yes, we can do that. Same question, exchange. Same question, exchange. What is exchange? Can we call non-static variables in static method? No. Very good. So I don't want to give the explanation for these guys because from past two classes we have learned these things. Okay, we have learned these things only. So I just want to give a overview on these one. Okay, so now let's understand the few things about the static blocks. I think yesterday we have learned about the static blocks, but still some in detail we learn about the static blocks today. Okay, so what do you mean by the static blocks? Okay, Priyanka, we have a variables because we want to store some value. So that is the reason the Java is giving us variables. Methods because we want some functions, to write some code. So we need the methods. Whereas constructors, before the method, if you want to execute something in the process of object creation, then you need a constructor. Then why static blocks? Why static blocks in Java? Why static blocks in Java? Okay, before the constructor, before the constructor, you want to execute something. Guys, note this point. Before the constructor, you want to execute, I mean you want to initialize something. You want to initialize something. Then you go for static blocks. Then you go for the static blocks here. Okay, as I already told you, static means class level. Static means class level. Instance means what? Object level, right? So constructors, how do you create the static blocks, Priyanka? Is like static blocks in this way. Like, just giving the static keyword like this, static keyword, and then this is the static blocks. Okay, this is a static blocks basically. Okay, this is a static blocks. Ignore the spellings. Okay, this is a static blocks. Okay, now this is the constructor. It has been there. What I told you yesterday, static means class. So when the class is loaded, it will check like, JVM will check in my class, any static blocks is there? Yes, it is there. So let's execute the static blocks. In my class, any static variables are there? Yes, it is there. If it is there, then assign the memory for that. In my class, any static methods are there? Yes. If it is there, then assign the memory for that. As of now, static variables are not there, static methods are not there, but static blocks are been there. So first it will execute these one, and then it will come to the main method. Before the main method in Java, if it is executing something, is like it is the static blocks. It is static blocks. How, Priyanka? Is like, see, everyone will tell that whatever you written inside the main method, it will execute. Yes, correct. But before the main method, when you execute this code, run as a Java application, what it will happen? First, the class will be loaded. So JVM will observe that in my class, any static blocks is there. Yes, it is there. Then please go and execute this first, and then it will come to the main method. Got it, team? Okay, so static block is a block of a code inside a class that run only once when the class is loaded into the memory. Okay, before the object creation, the static blocks will be executed. Okay, and before the main method, the static blocks will be executed. Got it? Yeah. So sometimes you feel like, before the constructor, you want to execute something, then it will come to your static blocks. Okay, then it will come to your static blocks. And static blocks also use it to initialize your static variables. Use it to initialize your static variables. Let's say I have here static int age. Okay, int age. I have just declared the variable, but I did not assign any value. So if you want to initialize, you can do it here. Age equal to 25. Okay. Static blocks are used to initialize the static variables. One of the thing. Got it? if you want to execute some logic before the main method starts, okay, so then you can have it in the static blocks. Okay, so now what are the things we have learned in the static blocks? So static blocks will be executed before the main method. If you want to execute anything before your main method, then you go for the static blocks, and static blocks are also used to initialize your static variables. Got it, team? Okay. Now, next interview question is like, can we create multiple static blocks in your class? Can we create multiple static blocks in your class? Say yes or no. Okay. Okay. I have created here multiple static blocks. 1, 2, 3. So what is the execution order here? What is the execution order here? So what is the execution order? It will print first how you have created. In the similar way, it will print. First, it will print static block 1. Next, it will print static block 2. Next, it will print static block 3. How you have created. In the similar way, it will be executed in your console. Okay. It will be executed in the console. Okay. So, in that way only, it will be printed in the console here. Okay. So, yeah, see, static block 1, static block 2, static block 3. Yes, you guys are correct. So we can create multiple static blocks in our class, but it would be executed as per the order you create. As per the order you create. Let's say if I create here static block 2 in the last. So now when I execute, what it will print? 1, 3, 2. The order is 1, 3, 2. Okay. Now next interview question. Can we have the static block inside the main method? Can we have the static block inside the main method? Okay. No. Okay. Let me see. So why we cannot declare the static blocks inside the main method? Okay. So we can't declare the static block inside the main method. That's not a good practice. Okay. You can't declare the static block inside the main method. But you can create anywhere in your class. Let's say I have a method here. Okay. I have a method here. After the method, you can create the static blocks here. Okay. Anywhere in your class, you can create the static blocks. There is no order that static block should be only on the top of your class. I mean, in the class, the first statement should be static. It's not like that. Got it, team? Yeah. So now one more interview question. What is the difference between static block and static method? What is the difference between static block and the static method? What is the difference between that? What is the difference between that? So, what is the difference that Priyanka is like? Static method, you have to call the static methods explicitly by taking your class name dot m1 method. Then your static method will be executed. But for the static blocks, you no need to call explicitly. Then how come it will call, Priyanka? Is like when you execute this method, first the class will be loaded. When the class is loaded, it will check that any static blocks is there. It is there. First, it will be executed. First, it will be executed. Then it will come to the static method. It will allocate the memory to the method. Only allocating the memory. That doesn't mean that it will execute the static method. It will just allocate the memory to the method. But to call this method, you have to call by using the class name inside the main method. That is the difference between static method and the static block. Got it, team? Hmm? Okay. So now 4 points. Static blocks are used to initialize the static variables before the main method. You want some initializations or prerequisites to be executed, then you use the static blocks. Yes, we can create the multiple static blocks in our class. As per you create that order, it will be executed. Okay, so that is all about the static blocks. Let's see where we can use these static blocks in the Selenium. Okay, if you see here, this is the class name. Okay, so this is the static block. Okay, so this is a static block. Inside that, I'm using the try block. That's it. Okay, for your confusion, I'll remove this try block. Okay, so in the static block, what I'm writing, this is my, this is my water. This is my static variable. This is my static variable. What I'm doing, just a static properties prop equal to new properties. Okay, properties has been there. So generally we have some properties, right? What do we have in a properties? URL name, okay, username, okay, and password, okay, and everything you will be having in the your properties file. So what you will do, you will load your properties file, and then after that you will read that data from your properties file. Okay, so what it is doing in the static blocks, before your WebDriver initialization, before your elements search of finding the elements or anything, you want to load this properties, so that before the main method or anything, before your main execution, you want to do something, that you will be writing in your static blocks. Got it, team? Mm-hmm. No written type for static blocks. Okay, no written type for the static blocks. Yeah. Okay, that is how the static blocks syntax here. Okay. Mm. So now we have learned about the static blocks. Now next come, okay, for initializing the static variables, you got the static blocks that has been there. Now for initializing the instance variables, then you have the instance blocks here. Instance blocks here. Okay, when this will be executed, when the object is created, instance blocks will be executed. Now let's see how it is function. So this is a static blocks. So now what is instance blocks? What is instance blocks? This is instance blocks. Okay, so this is the instance blocks here. Okay, see here, instance instance blocks here. Okay, this is the instance blocks here. Okay. So Priyanka told that during the object creation, the instance blocks will be executed. Okay, Priyanka, again you told that in the process of object creation, constructor also will be executed. So which will be executed first, Priyanka? Instance blocks or constructor? Which will be executed first? Instance blocks will be executed. How come, Priyanka? Let's understand. So what is this? This is a class name. Here you are creating a object. Okay, object reference you are doing, and this is completely is called as a constructor. This one is called as a constructor. Before the constructor, you are executing the instance blocks. Okay, you are executing the instance blocks. Okay, so what is the use of instance blocks is like, instance blocks are used same before the constructor. You want to before the constructor, okay, the instance blocks will be executed. Instance blocks are used to initialize the instance variable. It is used to initialize the instance variable. Okay, let me tell you again, same int a. This is what instance variable. So you can give it a equal to 10. So you are initializing that instance variables here. Okay, you are initializing the instance variables here. Okay, so okay, so instance variable we have been initialized. And then one more important thing for the instance blocks is like, if you want to write the common code, common code to the constructor, then you can use the instance blocks. Then you can use the instance blocks. How is like, without in instance blocks, then it will be like duplicate code. How? I'll let you know. I'll let you know here. Okay. See, now this is a class, right? So here, if I take like string user, okay, sorry, string name, I'll take string status. So what are all these? These are all instance variable. Okay, string roles. Okay, I have been created these three. Okay, so then this is the, we'll create one constructor. Okay, so constructor will create here. Okay, so what will give, um, will give status equal to active, will give status equal to active here, and then we'll keep role equal to user, you give it, sorry, role equal to user, you give it here, and then this is, uh, okay, sorry, role equal to user, you give it here. Okay, and then you create one more constructor, that is parameterized constructor. Okay, one more constructor you create, that is a parameterized constructor. Okay, string name. Okay, string name. So here also I want to give status as active and then role as a user here. Okay, this is what I want to do it here. Okay, so here, so this dot name equal to name. So what I am doing here, this name, what I am taking here is a local variable. So you are pointing, this dot name is nothing but a instance variable. This dot name is nothing but a instance variable. Here, I am pointing my instance variable to the local variable by using this keyword. This keyword is always used to point the current class instance variables. Current class instance variables. Okay, I have took one constructor. So I have given the initialize the value status active role user, status active role user, and this dot name here. Okay, then what we will be doing after this, and um, after this, okay, so let's say there is no instance blocks here. So what we'll be doing here in the constructor, I'll be calling the two constructors here. Okay, this one and this one. Other one, I'm giving some name here. Okay, here, name, Priyanka. So what it is happening here? Oh, I did not print anything, right? So sorry. Hmm. Okay, so what it is printing? Normal constructor. First it is going here, the normal constructor, and then it is printing the parameterized constructor. Okay, Priyanka, what you are trying to explain is like, what I'm trying to explain here is, guys, so here if you see, I have took the three instance variable. I have initialized one with my constructor. I have initialized one more constructor, taking again I have initialized the same variables. Two constructors need to have the same data. Means for one constructor, parameterized constructor also need these variables, and these constructor also need this variable. So what you are doing unnecessarily, you are creating here the two constructors. Okay, unnecessarily here you are creating the two constructors here. Okay, so what you can do for these one is like, one second. Mm. So what you can do is like, in this case, what you can do is like, this is a repetitive code, right? This status active role user. Okay, this is all the repetitive code, because in the both the constructor, you are using this value, right? This is a key, this is a value, this is a key, this is a value. So what I'll do, I'll create a instance blocks. In the instance block, I'll take this active role user and I'll keep it here. Okay, and I'll take this one and I'll keep it as a instance instance blocks. Okay, instance blocks, I'll keep it here. Okay, instance blocks. So I'll yeah, then I can remove these one, right? I can remove the repetitive code. I can remove these here also the repetitive code. Okay, the repetitive code I can remove here. Got it, team? Okay, so here also I can remove the repetitive code here. So now if you see, if I execute here, so what you're getting? First instance blocks it has been printing, and then normal cons, and then parameter constructor. So what exactly I'm trying to tell you is like, instance blocks is used to write the common code for the constructor. Let's say some data you want to use in the constructor. In this constructor, you want to use some data. Okay, you want to use the data. So at that case, you can use the instance blocks here. This instance blocks data is common to the this constructor and this one constructor also. Got it? Got it? It's clear? Okay. Yeah. So system dot out dot print ln of status. Okay. Ln of status. Okay. Same system dot out dot print ln of status. Now I'll execute. It is giving? Yeah, it is giving. Okay. So simple example also, I'll give you one more example. Okay. See here. This is, I'll remove these one. So inside the instance block, I'll write one common statement. What I'll write here, see, um, instance blocks, instance blocks, execute before, before cons, execute before the cons. Okay. I'll remove these two one also. I'll remove these one also. I'll remove these one also. Okay. So I'll keep this. Okay. So before the constructor, you want to execute, that should be common before the constructor. Like, that will be common to all the constructors. Like, let's say before the constructor you want to execute something, and that should be common to all the constructors. Then you can write it in the instance blocks. Then you can write it in the instance blocks in this way. Now, if you see what it has been there, first it will come for the class will be loaded. In the class will be loaded, then then it will check like any static blocks has been there. No static blocks has been there here, right? There is no static blocks. So then it will come to the main method. When it will come to the main method, it will check like this is the class name, and you are creating an object here. Okay. And then when you're creating an object, first this instance blocks will be executed. Okay. Then it will come to the constructor. Then this constructor will be executed. Second time also the same thing will be happen. So instance blocks constructor, instance block constructor. So before the constructor, every constructor you want to execute some common thing to all the constructors, then you use the instance blocks here. Got it, team? Okay. Yes. Yes, you are correct. Yeah. Yes. So instance blocks is printed two times, because when you in the process of object creation before the constructor, the instance blocks will be executed. That is the reason instance blocks has been executed two times here. If I create one more time, the object here, we create one more time the object. So now what? So now what? So how many times now the instance blocks will be executed? Can you tell me? Three times. So that is the case. So that is how the things will be working here. Okay. So Every object initialization, initial block, instance blocks will be executed. Okay. No, it's not like a different object, different instance blocks or something. It is common. Whenever you create an object, the instance blocks will be executed. It's not like for these object, these instance block, for these object, these instance blocks. It is nothing like that. Okay. So now next interview question. So I have multiple instance blocks here. Okay, I have a multiple instance blocks here. Okay, cons 1, cons 2, multiple instance blocks here. So how now the execution will happen? Tell me. What is output now? What is output now? Can someone tell me what is output now? What is output now? Okay, so let's run it and see how it will be executed here. So first, all the instance blocks will be executed first, and then it will come to the constructor, and then all the three instance blocks, and then it will come to the constructor, and then all the instance blocks, and then it will come to the constructor. That is how it will be there. Okay? Got it, team? So when you process of creating an object before the constructor, the instance blocks will be executed. Whatever is there instance blocks in your class, that all will be executed before your constructor. Before your constructor. Got it? Yeah. Okay. Any questions, team? Hope you got the clarify of this instance blocks. Hmm?
Uh, yeah, Priyanka, I have a question.
Hmm.
Like on static, it is just a single copy for all the objects. So
Yes.
for here, if we have instance block, so that will be different for all the different uh, objects, like three objects we are creating.
Yes.
So it will be a different,
Yes. Your
like
voice
the
is,
blackboard.
yeah. Yeah. Your voice is breaking, Sangeeta.
Okay. Now is it okay?
Yeah, yeah. Now it is okay.
Yeah, I'm saying like the blackboard example you
Hmm.
gave yesterday.
Hmm.
So for a static one, we have a single copy for all the objects we are creating.
Yes.
So
Yes.
here we have instance block. So for instance block, because we are creating three objects.
Hmm.
So for all the objects, it will be having a separate copy. Is it right?
Yes, yes, but every object own the instance blocks. Every object owns these instance blocks. This instance blocks belongs to
Okay.
one object, and this object will owns one instance. These three instance blocks. Again, these one. It is in that way. Before your constructor, whatever is their instance blocks, it will be executed.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and then one more interview question. See, now you have here static blocks. What is there here? Static blocks. System dot out dot print ln of static blocks. Here it is there, static blocks. Okay, so now this is the static blocks. Okay, this is a static blocks. Okay. So static blocks, and this is the instance blocks, and this is the constructor, and we will have one more constructor here. Okay, so we will have one more constructor here int a. Okay, so we'll call it here as a 10. I'll remove this one. So now I'll call here this. Okay, so and then we create void m1 and system dot out dot print ln of instance method. Okay, instance method, this one, and I will call it as a static, sorry. So then I'll have a static method here. Okay, so okay, this has been there here. So all our concepts into one place, all our concepts into one place. Okay, So now this has been there. Okay. So okay. Now what is the output? Now what is output? Can someone tell me what is output?
Yes, can I
Yeah.
see?
Yeah. Let's ping in the chat,
Uh,
you guys, and then who want to answer, please raise your hand. Others can mute. Okay. Yes, Rohit, please go ahead. Yeah. Mohammed, you can go ahead. Yeah, please tell me. Yeah, Naresh.
First static block will execute on the
Okay.
class loaded.
Mm.
Uh, then after object, when the object is created, then instance class will be executed.
Okay.
After that, we are calling the constructor. So
Mm.
it will go to the int a constructor, but there we are calling the this. So it
Okay.
will execute the cons, first one cons. It will print cons. Then it will print cons again in the second constructor where int is going.
Yeah.
After that, we are calling the M2 static method. So static method will print. It will not go to the instance method.
Very good. Yeah, good. So let me tell you again. So first, whenever the panel asks you these things, second time I'm telling you, please do not see the code, whatever is been there in the class. Always see in the main method what is been there. So first class will be executed. When the class is executed, it will check like any static blocks has been there. Yes, it is there. So first, let me execute. Okay, first let me execute these one. Okay, fine. And then it will come to the main method. Before coming to main method, it will assign the memory to the static method. Okay, that is there. Here, the class name. Okay, we are creating an object and then constructor. Before the constructor, the object is created. So it will come to the static blocks. So this next it will be printed. Okay, and then it will go to the constructor. So you are calling the parameterized constructor. So what is a parameterized constructor here? These one. So, but in the 18th line, you are calling your current class constructor. So, it will go to your current class constructor, then it will print cons. And then again, it will come to the 19th line, it will print cons. Okay. So, then this will become the third one. After that, on the 35th line, you are calling by using the class name, you are calling your static method. So, then this one will be printed. So, all the concepts, whatever we have learned, then this is the example. If you're good with these things, then we are done with all the basics. So these are the many Wipro, Infosys, like Wells Fargo, the people will be asking, can you create a class? Can you create a static blocks, instance block, static method, constructors, parameterized constructor? And can you tell me the flow and why it will be executed first? Then you have to tell to the panel. Got it, team? Do not think like these are basics and uh, I think my voice is audible now, Jaya. Guys, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is all about the instance blocks, static blocks, and the variables here. Okay, so now let's get into the main pillar of our Java concepts. What are the main pillar of our Java concepts? Oops.
Priyanka, sorry to interrupt.
Mm.
You explained this dot name equal to name, right? Can you
Ah.
explain that once, how it will work?
Yeah, I have already informed you in yesterday's class, right? This keyword is used to call the current class constructor. Okay, this keyword is used to call the current class constructor. Many interview questions they'll be asking, what is the use of this keyword? This keyword is used to call the current class constructor. In my class, there are multiple constructor, but okay, at one constructor itself, like if you just give these one, this constructor only will be executed, but you want to execute another constructor inside this constructor, then you have to use the this keyword. Got it, team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not this one, Priyanka. You showed like with the instance variables, right? Name like that. You have declared a string
Ah,
name on the
that
top.
also I'll tell you.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay.
So now, so what is this one? This is an instance method. Okay, what is this one? This is also instance method. If you want to call this method inside the M1 method, you can do that. How can you do that? Instance, this dot M3. You can see here, this dot M3. Current class methods, if you want to call instance methods in your in your method, inside your method, then you can call by using the this keyword. This is very, very important interview question. In which cases you use the this keyword? First case, I use a this keyword in calling the current class constructor. I use a this keyword to call the, in my current class, if there are multiple instance method, if I want to call a method inside the another method, then I use the this keyword. Got it, team? So this is the use about the this keyword. Two cases we have learnt. Okay, now third case. What do you mean by third case? This is int a. What is this one? This is instance variable. This is instance variable. Now I am creating one method, okay, void m6. Okay, so what Priyanka has told, local variables she can create inside the method. So I'm creating the local variables inside the method. This is local variable. Let's say sometimes there will be declaring that, instance variable as a int a, same variable name. Here also the same variable name. Here I have done. So let's say you want to differentiate your instance variable. Then how do you do? System.out.println of this.a will go to the, this.a will be point to the instance variable. This.a will point to the instance variable. If you want to just print your local variable, just a. Got the team? Three use cases. This is been first case, three in this in the constructor, this in the method. Got it? Very, very important interview question. Got it? So then you can answer like this keyword is used to call the current class instance variable. This keyword is also used to call the current class instance method inside a method. If you want to call the another instance method, then you can use the this keyword. Okay. And then if you want to call the current class constructor, you use the this keyword. Got it, team? Yeah. Yes, Rohit. Yeah, Farhan, any doubt?
No.
Okay, fine.
Priyanka, like now in the instance method, you use this dot m3, right, to call the another instance method. Can we call this dot m2 where that is the static method?
Yeah, you can call the this.m2 also, but that is not a good practice you do to call this static methods, basically.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, team, we are good to with these one. So we have understood the variables, constructors, instance blocks, static blocks, usage in our frameworks, everything. Now let's get into the main pillar of our inheritance. And let's see now if the inheritance comes into the picture, how our instance blocks, static blocks, and the constructor will behave. Let's see here. Okay. So now one second. Yeah. I hope everyone know what you mean by the inheritance. What do you mean by inheritance? Inheritance means you are being taking your parent properties in your child and you are using that. That is called the inheritance. You are inheriting your parent properties in your child class. That is called as a inheritance. Let's say in real time your parent is having a building. So after your means like so that building is yours only, right? Because it's a parent building, right? So that's a parent child thing. The concept is called as a inheritance here. Okay. So inheritance is like main pillar of our Java here. Okay. So let's say example, you have the class A. In the class A, you have that M1 method. Okay. You have the M2 method. You have written the code for M3 method also. Okay. So So in the class B, you want that M1 method, M2 method, M3 method, but you want to initialize M4 method also. So what you do when there is no inheritance concept, M1 method, again you write M2 method, again you write M3 method. So again you have to write your M4 method. So these three methods are unnecessarily you are creating, right? Yes or no? So then what is the process, Priyanka, if I don't want to repeat the code lines or anything, then remove this M1, M2, M3. Okay, I have removed. So how do I get my M1, M2, 3 methods in my class B? Okay, you can do that by using the extends keyword. When you use extends A, so then you will be getting all your parent class methods in your child. You can use all your parent class methods in your child by using the extends keyword here. Got it, team? Got it? So this is the main about the inheritance. So basically you call this as a superclass and you call this as a child class. Okay, by using the extends keyword, you are making the relationship between the two classes here. This is the parent class. Class A called parent class. Class B is called as a child class here. Got it? Class B is called as a child class here. Okay. So this is what it will be there here. Okay, now let's see the multiple examples of your inheritance. So now, so this is the Mhm. Okay. So now I have took two classes. What is the two classes here? So this is one Priyanka training and one is SDET Interview Preparation batch. So in the Priyanka training, I am creating one void M1 method. Okay, void M1 method. So system.out.println of what M1 method here. What M1 method here. Okay. So in the same here, I am creating the M2 method here. M2 method here. So, but I want to utilize the M1 method. So what you do, you use the extends keyword, extends and take this class name here and take this class name here. Okay, take this class name here. Okay, take this class name here. And then you have to create an object for your child class. What is a child class? This one. Okay, so new obj, new this one. Okay, child. And then when you create an object for your child class and then new obj dot. See now, you are getting your new obj dot. You are getting M1 method. Why we are not getting M1 method?
I think we need to create object for Priyanka training here, right?
Mhm. Mm. You have extended here and void M1 method and here void M2 method and then M2. So that's okay. Okay, new obj dot. So M not saved. Okay, let me save. What is the issue? Yeah, Tarun. I think you need to create object for the for training class. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Let me do. Okay. So now what we do, we create an object for your child class, that is Priya. So Priya new obj equal to new Priya, and then now new obj dot m1 method. Now we are getting. Previously we did not get. Why? Because this class has been created in a different project. Okay, in a different project I have been created this class. So that is the reason you are not able to inherit that particular class completely. Okay, so now in this class, basic class itself, you have the Priyanka training and then Priya. So that is the reason you are able to inherit it, that one. Okay. Okay. So what exactly has been happening here? So Priyanka has created one class, that is Priyanka training. The void M1 is been there. So if you want to use this void M1 in my another class, so what I do the extends Priyanka training. So I can create here void M2 also. So I have to create an object for my child class. By using the child class, you can call your parent class method as well as child class method as well. So child class method as well, you can call it. This is the importance of the inheritance code cleanness, and also duplicate code, and unnecessary things you can avoid by using the inheritance concept. Okay, if you see in our framework also, you would be having one utility class. Okay, you have one utility class here. Okay, so see, submit order test here. It has been what it has been extending. It has been extending the base class. Okay, so base class will have all the WebDriver initialization and everything you would be having. So every class need to extend this base class, because base class have the WebDriver initialization and everything. So that is where you use in your framework also. You use in your framework also the same thing. The inheritance concept. Okay, if you see here also, this is the page object model. So this is extending the utilities class. What exactly you will have in the utilities class? In the utilities class, you will be having some common methods related to your Selenium code, related to your UI. You'll be having some generic code. So that code you want to use it in your page class. So that's the reason. See, every class will extend that utility class. See, every class you can see that extending the utility class here. Got it, team? Got it? So this is the concept all about the inheritance. Okay, this is just a concept about the inheritance. Okay. Okay. So now let's get into the things about here. Okay. So how do we get a parent class constructors and everything here? Parent class constructors and everything here. Okay. Because I know everyone know the concept of inheritance here. I think everyone know here. So now let's see the inheritance here. Constructor here. Okay. So which is a parent class? Priya training is a parent class. Okay. Priya training is a parent class here. So what I'll be doing, I'll create a constructor in my parent class. So see here, this is the constructor. So sum dot out dot println of parent cons, parent cons. It will be there here. Okay. So parent cons will be there. In your child class also, I will create one constructor. In the child class also, I will create one constructor. So I'll create one constructor. Okay. Okay, I'll create one constructor. This is a child cons. Okay. So what exactly I'm doing here? I am creating an object for my child class, and I am calling the M1 method which has been there in the parent class. Okay, team. So what is there here? Now Priya is a class. Okay. And I am creating a constructor for which class? Child class or parent class? I'm creating a constructor for the child class here. I'm creating a constructor for the child class here. Okay. So now now the parent constructor will be executed or not? Ping me in the chat. Parent constructor will be executed or not? No, no, yes. Okay, fine. Let's see here what exactly it is happening. So, first of all, constructors are getting inherited here. Class is getting inherited here, Priyanka. How come class is getting inherited? Class is getting inherited here, Priyanka, because you are using the extends keyword. So, you are making a relationship between child and the parent. Whatever the parent class you have, that methods, you can use it in your child class. That inheritance has been happening. Methods are getting inherited here. Okay, but is the constructor is are getting inherited? No, constructors are not getting inherited in Java. Constructors are being to the class level itself. Constructors are being to the class level itself. Okay, and are used to create an object of that class since they are not the part of the objective properties. Okay, so they cannot be inherited by the child classes. So they are not being inherited by the child classes. Okay, but automatically when you are uh, one second. So automatically by default, it will execute the parent class constructor first, and then the child class constructor will be executed. Okay, but that doesn't mean that it is inherited. That doesn't mean that it is inherited. First parent class constructor gets called, but it's not inherited into child. Java simply calls it the super keyword. What exactly it will happen means, see, by default, it will be there here the super keyword. I am not writing. By default, JVM will only write the super keyword here. So what it will happen? First, it will come to the main method. So Priyanka has created an object for the Priya class. So it will go to the Priya constructor. Fifth line. Sixth line where it is telling, please go to the super. Super means parent class. So first the parent class constructor will be executed. Then it will come to the child. Then it will call the M1 method. Got it, guys? So this is not inherited. If many interviews they'll be asking, is the constructor inherited? No, the constructor is not getting inherited. Then how your parent class constructor is calling? My parent class constructor is calling. There is a super keyword inside my child constructor. Who is writing this super keyword? Means JVM by default it will write the super keyword in your child constructor. Got it, team? Got it? Comment in chat if you're not able to understand. Variables also inherited from parent to child? Yeah, that's a good question. We'll take that question end of the class. Okay, that's a good question. I'll note down this question. Okay, I'll run and we'll see the output. What exactly? Okay. So we are not discussing on the regular questions, guys. We are discussing on some twisted questions, how it will behave. So see, first parent constructor, then child constructor, then M1 method. Got it? So this is how the execution will be happening. Now, let's say in my child, I don't have any constructor. In a child class, I don't have any constructor. Then what it will become? Then what it will be? It will call the parent constructor or not? It will call the parent constructor or not? Comment in the chat. I want everyone to answer, guys. Please utilize this opportunity and get more confidence if you answer the right questions. Okay, very good. Very good. Some people yes, some people no. Let's say I told Priyanka has given one tip. What is a tip? Whether in your child class constructor or anything, see here. What is there here? The Priya constructor has been there. Is the constructor has been there in our class? No, Priyanka did not create any constructor. So what JVM will do? JVM will create the default constructor for the Priya. How the JVM will create? JVM will create in this way. I told like zero argument constructor and zero implementation constructor. It will be there here. But inside this also, first the super keyword will be there. So first the parent class constructor will be executed. Then your child default constructor will be executed. Got it, team? Okay, these level of understanding you should have. Got it? Got it? Yeah. Okay. So again, many people will tell that constructors also will be inherited. No, constructors are not getting inherited, but it is using the super keyword inside your constructor. So that is the reason it is calling. Okay. Now one more question. You have the Priya constructor here. Okay, you have here Priya constructor here. Okay, you have here constructor here. But the parent class does not have any constructor. Parent class does not have any constructor. That time what it will happen? So if I execute what exactly the output I'll be getting, team? Huh? Yes, sir. What is what is the answer I'm asking you?
Child constructor, then
First child.
Child constructor.
yeah.
Okay. Then
Constant.
parent constructor will be executed or not?
Yes, it will be executed, but no parameterize and no method constructed.
Okay, fine. So what is there here? This is a constructor. It will go here. Obviously, it will have here super keyword. Okay, so it will go to your parent class. But parent class, Priyanka did not create any constructor. So JVM will create the constructor. But that constructor will be zero argument constructor and no implementations constructor. So nothing will execute from the parent class. So then child class constructor and then M2 method will be executing. Sorry, M1 method will be executing. Got it, guys? So by taking like this multiple examples, you will get very confident that, how do we execute these kind of things? Got it? Got it? Now let's say one more example. So this is the int A. This is the parameterized constructor. Okay. System dot out dot print ln of parent param cons. See now, child. Child is getting the error here. Why child is getting the error here? What it is telling? Implicit the super constructor Priyanka training is undefined. Must explicitly invoke the constructor because implicitly Priyanka JVM is using this one only, this constructor only. But in the parent class you have some parameterized constructor. So that time you have to explicitly call the super keyword by using the 10 here. Got it, team? You got the answer now? You got my point? So when you have the parameterized constructor, you have to explicitly call that parameterized constructor by using the super keyword with the variable. Okay. So why exactly we have to call in this way, Priyanka, is like if it is not the case, generally it will be super. So what exact compile time exception we are getting? Implicit superclass super constructor Priyanka training is undefined. What do you mean by undefined? Generally it will be in this way, the super constructor. Okay, this will be in this way. So, but that superclass constructor is been expecting some parameters. So this is undefined. So that is the reason you have to call the superclass constructor by giving the parameters here 10. Got it, team? Comment in the chat. Did you understand this concept? Any questions? Got it? So this is how the constructor will be behaving here. Okay, you can use the now next interview question. Can I use super keyword and this keyword in my constructor at a time? Can I use these keyword and super keyword in my constructor at a time? Answer? No, no, no. Yes, we can. Okay, yes, we can. Somebody has told. Let's see how. So you have the one more constructor here. Okay, you have the one more constructor here. Okay, this is the constructor. So let's make this as a parameterized constructor. Int A, comma, int B. Okay, you have this constructor. Okay, so have the 28, comma. One second. So here, you have like one more constructor here. Okay, you have to call here you have a one child constructor. Okay, so you have here super constructor. Okay, everything. It has been there here. So you have to call, you want to call in your current class constructor, this constructor you want to call. So how you use the this keyword, and then what you will be giving here, some value 100 you will be giving. This is calling the current class constructor. See, it is pointing to this one only. But see, super keyword is getting compiled time error. See, constructor call must be the first statement inside a constructor. So whether you use a this keyword or super keyword, that must be first statement inside the constructor. So you cannot use this and super keyword at a time. You can use any one keyword. You can use any one keyword. Both the keywords are not allowed in Java. Got it, team? Okay. Yes, super keyword you use it to call the current parent class ones. This keyword you use it to call the current class ones. That is the difference between super and the parent. Super keyword is used to call the parent class constructor. Super keyword you use it to call the parent class method. See, now M1 method is there in the parent class. So what I can do, I can call like, by using super dot M1. See, I can call by using the super keyword parent class methods. This keyword I can call the current class methods. Now you got the clarity between super and this keyword. Team, any questions in the chat? Okay. Okay, got it. Okay. Now last question we'll take it. Now we have understood that individually how the constructor will behave. Now we understood that during the parent-child relationship, how the constructor will behave also we have understood. Okay. Now we'll see how the instance blocks, static blocks will behave in the form of a inheritance. Let's see static blocks. Tomorrow we'll see the instance. Okay. So static. So static blocks you have here. System dot out dot print ln of child static blocks. Child static blocks here. Okay. So then okay. So now what you're doing, you have created one static blocks. Okay. So in the parent class also, we'll create one static blocks. Okay. This is like, parent static blocks. This is like parent constructor. This is like, again we'll create one. Sorry, again we'll create one child, child constructor. Okay. Child constructor here. Okay. Child constructor here. Okay. So now, which one will be executed first? Which one will be executed first? Tell me. So first, what is execution order? So what is execution order? Okay. Okay. Very good. So these are the interview questions you would be getting in the interview. So again, the same thing. Static blocks are not getting inherited. Okay, good, Priyanka. Static blocks are not getting inherited, but it executes only once per class. Execute when the class is loaded into the memory. Parent static blocks executes before the child static blocks. Parent static blocks execute before the child static blocks. Okay, when you create a child class object, so Java, when you create your child class object, what it will be doing is like, first the parent class will be loaded. First the parent class will be loaded. Okay, when the parent class is been loaded, first the parent static blocks will be executed. First the parent static blocks will be executed. Got it, team? Okay. So first the parent static blocks will be executed. And then which constructor will be executed first? Again, parent class constructor or child class constructor? What is the execution order here? what it is printing? So first, static blocks are not inherited, but first the parent class will be loaded. So then that's the reason parent class static blocks will be executed. Then the child class static blocks will be executed. So then when it comes to here Priya, so it will go to here child class constructor, but inside here you have the super keyword. So that is the reason your parent class constructor will be executed first and then child class constructor. That is how the things will be executed here. Okay, static blocks are not inherited. Constructors are also not inherited, but static blocks run due to the class load, not inheritance, not because of the inheritance. Okay, static blocks executed only once per class when you create the multiple objects. How many objects you create? Static blocks will be executed only once. Okay, so if you create the child object, Java will load. First parent class will be loaded, then the child class will be loaded. Got it, team? Got it? Okay. Any questions on this? Yeah, got it. Okay. So I think I'll end up with these. Before ending up, let's take a small thing. What about the instance blocks? How differently it behaves, the instance blocks? Do you think instance blocks also get inherited? Do you think instance blocks also get inherited? Hmm? No. Okay. Instance blocks also not getting inherited. Then how it will be behave? Then how it will be behaved? Okay, so now the parent is also having the instance blocks. Okay, parent is also having the instance blocks, instance parent blocks. Let's see the last example. So then you would be very clear with all the concept of the inheritance. Okay, now that's clear. So instance blocks also not getting inheritance. Instance blocks belong to the class or to the object. Comment in the chat. Instance blocks belong to the class or in the object? Object. Very good. Very good. Very good, Jaya and everyone. Instance blocks belong to the objects. So instance blocks, they did not get copied in your child class during the inheritance. So then why do the instance blocks of parent execute first is like, because when you create a child object, Java always create the parent part of the object first. Parent part of the object first, it will be created. So that is the reason parent instance blocks will be executed first. Okay, so how the things will be working here? See like this. Now this is a parent class. So how it will be here? It will be like this. So first what it will happen? So first the parent class will be loaded. So static blocks will be executed. Then it will come to the child class. Then child static blocks will be executed. That is known. Then what it will happen? So here what it will happen? So first parent class instance blocks will be executed. Then it will come to the parent class constructor. See, parent class static blocks, then child class static blocks. Okay, first parent class, because first parent class will be loaded. So parent static blocks. Next child class will be loaded. Child class static blocks. So here before this, what it is happening? The parent instance blocks will be executed first. So this one. Next parent constructor. Okay, next instance blocks of your child and then child constructor. Okay, here you no need to mug up these things and everything, right, guys? You need to understand the process. That's the only thing. So here panel can ask n number of questions on this. So which block will be executed first when you have a inheritance concept? So okay, uh, so how come the constructors are inherited or not? Okay, static blocks are inherited or not? Okay, instance blocks are getting inherited or not? So how they will behave when you have the inheritance concept? So all these questions you should answer when you know these concepts. Got it? Got it, team? I think it's already late. So we'll wind up the session. So any concerns? Hope you like the class. Okay. From tomorrow, Mohan will be taking the class because first three classes will be taken care by me. I want to showcase how I teach the Java concepts, but I will be the trainer, full-time trainer. I mean like complete trainer for you. 70% concepts will be explained by me. Only 30% means like Git, Maven, Jenkins, framework, those kind of concepts will be explained by Mohan. That's it. But I'll be your trainer. So our agenda is like first three classes Java, we want to showcase how we teach the Java, how we design our coding exams, and we have a mock interview also on the Saturday, whatever we complete the topics. So similar way, I'll ask you to create a class and write the topics. I mean, create in this way and expect what is the output. So these kind of questions you can expect. Okay. And next three classes, Mohan will take care. Mohan will explain the concept of XPaths, XPath access, and everything. After completing Mohan two classes, then who are interested, kindly enroll. Okay, because we have given 4 to 5 free classes. That is good enough to judge our things how we have been trained to you. So then you can enroll from Monday. Then we start with again pending Java concepts, OOPS concepts, and then we go with the Java coding questions, and then API testing, API Postman, rest assured, Cucumber framework, and then UI automation. Got it? So I think I have given my best to explain you the things, guys. Because I think if I take any complex concept, it would be very easy to explain you. But taking this very simple basics concept and trying to explain it feels like very tough and challenging for me. Because of that, I can't get into the mid of the topic, right? I want my candidates to understand from the basics, the variables, constructors, class, methods, blocks, how the execution. Because if I when I explain the framework, if you are clear with these concept only, then only you can understand the things, or else you will not understand the things in the framework. Got it? See, they have used here super keyword. So then you will understand that, okay, they are calling the parent class. Here they have used the this keyword, means they are calling the current class instance variable. So all these concepts will be using in the framework. It doesn't mean only for the interview. Got it? Okay, thank you. I'll not extend more than this. Any questions, we'll take the questions. Other can leave. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Bye. Let's get into the questions. Please raise your hand. Yes, Sangeeta. Yes, Rohit. Yes, Pooja.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
Priyanka. My first question is like we are giving the like code assessment
Mm.
every day. So for that result or what is our performance or any correction,
Haha, haha.
where we will
That
get.
the coding answer sheet also will be updating. We take like 2 days gap for the first exam, whatever we give, and for the second one, because we want the candidates also to try from themselves rather than just copy pasting. So that's the reason 2 days gap we give. Today I'll give the variables answer sheet. After 2 days, again you get the constructor answer sheet. Got it?
Okay, so our each individual answers will not be evaluated, is it?
We have a team. Actually, we have recruited one person. He's yet to join from Monday.
Okay.
He'll try to evaluate and he'll give you a score for your mock interviews also.
Yeah, that will be better because what we have written, that may a little bit vary to the exact answer, but
Mm.
may be correct one. So if that will be evaluated, so we will get more idea about like what we have given.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good point. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll try to do that. Yeah. Hope you
yeah.
like the coding exams. Is it tough you feel or like it's fine, you can write it?
No, no, it's interesting. I mean, as per the class we are going, so the like before the next class, if
Mm.
we are attempting, I mean, I have done like before the class for the 2 days. So it's as per the concept is being explained. So it's interesting. Like the same way
Mm.
we are getting more clarity.
Yeah, yeah, got it. Okay. Mm.
And for whoever is interested, as you said, like after Mohan's class, we need to enroll and
Yeah, after
pay the
Mohan
fee or
class,
something.
Mohan class, you can enroll. If you made up your mind, I can join the class, then you can start enrolling from now itself. Okay. And do not think
Okay.
that coding exams is like, Priyanka, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I know everyone is occupied with your personal works, office works, and everything. But, if
Mhm.
you're planning to switch the companies, guys, please take it. This is a very good time to, study because in November, December, Jan, midweek, you don't get any calls. Okay, because December Christmas, New Year, again January Sankranti, after that only the market will get stabilized. So till the market gets stabilized, this is a good time to prepare you and to enhance yourself and to make ready for the interview. And after Jan 20, then when you start getting calls, so immediately you can crack. right? I think this is the best time for you guys to prepare for the interview. You have some enough time. However, you'll not get much calls this time. Okay, and complete the coding exams, because we are not randomly giving that coding exam from anywhere. We are taking that coding exams from the from from LinkedIn only, from people who are attending the recent interviews, who would be posting, right? So one of the team member will be working on that. So then recently interview questions only you will be getting that. So please try to complete that coding exam links. That give you really a boost of confidence. Okay, yeah. Thank you guys, and I think it's very late today. Who are very good to with this information can leave, others can stay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Pooja.
Yes, actually, I have not attended the another classes. This is my first class. So I just want to know regarding the fees and what is the process actually you are following?
Yeah, Pooja, the fee is like, 9,500, Pooja. So we teach like, Java coding questions, API testing, UI automation, manual scenario based questions, SQL, and managerial interview questions as well. Okay. So by taking the regular mock interviews and everything, you and taking the coding exams, you become more stronger and like more confident in your interview. Just attending our classes enough. Again, no need to go to YouTube or Google or any other social network to again do the revise or anything. Okay, and
Okay,
concept wise expected interview questions document also will ping you in the drive.
okay,
And
so
the
we'll get the
recordings,
documents also, right?
yes, yes, and the recordings will be lifetime access.
Okay, so today, like you have completed one class, so I'll get the recording and as well as notes of previous one also. Can
Yes,
I get the notes?
yes, yes, yes. Of course, you will get that.
Okay, so what is the duration for this course?
See, this is the recordings. You would be having a recordings here. Okay, and then again you would be having the class notes topic wise, coding exam links, Zoom details, and our course summary. Everything, the drive link will be there. Yeah, go ahead.
What I was asking. What is the duration for this course?
It is 9 to 10 weeks.
9 to 10 weeks.
Mm.
Okay, so for the access, these you have already provided this link into
Yeah,
the chat.
yes, yes, it is
What's
already there in the WhatsApp group. If you don't find the link, you can ping me. I will share it. Okay.
and the one more thing, I so like I am on the career break as of now, so